this is Brian from ScreenFiles.com with Trailer into Reaction. What I'm posting about today is that I just learned that there was a new trailer for Zack Snyder / Joss Whedon's The Justice League, and I wanted to, it just literally, I guess maybe a few minutes, an hour or two ago, just turned up, so I just wanted to cut a video for it. But before I do, I wanted to mention something. America is a great country, and I don't mean that in the sense of stroking ourselves like the term is typically used. There have been so many advancements, technological advancements, starting from this country. There have been so many people who have come up from nothing and achieved great things in this country. This country is amazing. But that being said, this country also has a tendency to make up its own truths. And that's part of what we're going through today with our idiot-in-chief Trump. People just inventing their own truths. Truth doesn't work that way. Why am I mentioning this now on a video that's going to review the trailer for Justice League? Because there are a lot of people out there who say, well, the DCEU planned to get a little more humorous and lighthearted, and it's not an accident. Nonsense. You're lying to yourselves. And again, you have the right to do that, but know it. You're lying to yourselves. How do I know this? Zack Snyder, the creative genius behind the DCEU, at least for a while, said something to the effect of he wanted to have Superman raped in he said he wanted to have Batman raped in prison in his movie. Now, that's being a little hyperbolic actually, but come on, why would you even say something like that? The guy who wanted Superman to break Zod's neck. Now, keep in mind, as I've mentioned at other times, Superman has killed in the past, but killing is the last resort. He spends a whole movie not giving a crap about anyone, essentially, except for, I believe, his mom. He snaps Zod's neck. It creates a certain feel, a certain lack of hope, and that's the issue. I've read so many columns of, oh, the DCEU is too dark, and that's why people don't like it. Nonsense. It has nothing to do with it being too dark. It's the fact that there's a pessimism that underlines it. There's a mean-spiritedness that underlines it. It was in Man of Steel. It was in Batman v Superman. It was in Suicide Squad. It wasn't in Wonder Woman. Coincidentally, the most successful DCEU film made. Why is that? Because there was a plan to deliberately make these films murky, visually murky. I mean, it's like if it doesn't rain, it doesn't do anything in DCEU. A lot of needless night scenes. Extremely pessimistic. This was done deliberately. This was not an accident. And not only was it not an accident, there was no intent to change it. And how do I know that? Just by watching. Let's do a thought exercise here. Hypothetically speaking, if Man of Steel was, let's say, earned over $1 billion. Let's say if Batman v Superman earned over $1 billion. Let's say Suicide Squad earned over $1 billion. Do you honestly think they would be trying to lighten up those movies? That they would be putting optimism and a sense of humor into them? Of course not. Why? Because they've been shown by the marketplace that there's no reason to do it and that people like what they're doing. Therefore, they would not do it. I promise you that. So now, the exact opposite has happened. Man of Steel, it didn't. Now keep in mind, none of the movies were a flop, and that's important to mention. Financially speaking, critically speaking, oh yeah, they were flops. But financially speaking, they were not flops. So, you have Man of Steel. Pessimistic, murky, all in all, not a very enjoyable movie. But it made money. Just not as much money as a movie about one of the most iconic comic characters in history should have made. So, what happens? Remember, it was profitable, just not as profitable as it should have been. They go into Batman v Superman, combining three of the most iconic characters in comic history. Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. And it's profitable. But it only earned over $800 million, if I recall. Somewhere in that ballpark. Keep in mind, Captain America Civil War. Captain America, who is frankly a second tier, or maybe even a third tier character, by the way, in comics. The movies upended that whole formula. But in comics, we're talking about a second or third tier character. Same thing of Iron Man, earning over $1 billion at the box office. A movie, by the way, with similar themes as Batman v Superman. The difference being, though, Captain America Civil War did not take itself quite that seriously, in the sense that there was elements of optimism, there were elements of hope amidst the conflict and carnage and explosions. You can combine the two things. Zack Snyder, you can do that. So it's better received. All the Marvel movies are better received than what the DCEU has created. But until Wonder Woman. And by the way, I didn't see Wonder Woman. Why? Because I've seen what the DCEU was doing up to this time, and I'm not paying to see it. I don't want murky superheroes. I don't want pessimistic superheroes. I don't want superheroes who lack optimism. And again, it doesn't mean that their situations aren't dark and with high stakes. I'm just saying I don't want that in my superheroes. If Zack Snyder wanted to do that, he should have created his own superhero. Make him dark, make him snap people's necks, make him not care about saving people's lives. Well, essentially Hancock. Let him do that. But don't take established characters who people know for most of their lives and alter them in such drastic, irritating ways. Okay, I'm stepping off the soapbox now. And let's look at the trailer for Justice League.
Let's do it.
All right.
First off, it looks like they're trying to make us like a character who they've had 2 movies to make us care about, and they didn't.
Take that as a yes.
What?
The ring.
I had a dream.
Morning after the death of Superman. Violence, acts of war, and terrorism are all on the rise.
I had a dream. It was the end of the world.
Invasion.
I think it's something more. Something darker.
We're asking people we don't know to risk their lives.
Strong man is strongest alone. You ever heard that?
That's not a saying. That's the opposite of what the saying is. The world needs Superman. I made him a promise. This is why I brought you together.
Ride ain't over yet. My man.
I'm not sure how I feel about this uber cool Aquaman overcompensating for the fact that Aquaman is typically a lame character in comics. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah!
Oh, awesome. As a bat signal, that's your...
Is the Flash autistic?
Your signal, that means we have to go now.
Yeah, that's what that means.
It's so cool.
Is the Flash autistic? I have to ask again. Come on, seriously? Okay, so that was the Heroes trailer for, I want to say Batman v Superman, so bad, for Justice League, and it's better, but my point is it's taken too long to get to this point. We should have already have been here. I'm sorry, Thor Ragnarok is going to be a real challenge for this movie, box office. And I know some people are going to go, oh, they're not competing. Both movies are coming out in November at some point. They're competing. And it doesn't have the buzz. And the reason it doesn't have the buzz is because they have done these characters wrong. And they're only now starting to course correct. It doesn't look bad, frankly. And that's saying something for a DCEU movie. So, we'll see. This is Brian of ScreenFiles.com with Trailer to Reaction. Peace.